Coach Greg, and in today's video, Hugh Jackman fans, they're celebrating harder than last time. After all, the protein powder has finally kicked in. His words, not mine. So apparently, Wolverine Hugh Jackman has gotten so massive so quickly that he's split in two pair of pants. Well, first thing you need to know is bodybuilders should be wearing the stretchy jeans. If you have a lot of muscle, you're not going to fit in those slim fit jeans, and so you need the jeans that have a stretch. And so you would think Hugh Jackman would know this. After all, he's been lifting weights, getting massive, and then losing all the muscle, going back and forth for years. How does he not know this by now? Second of all, can somebody figure out the protein powder line that he's selling? Because I want some. I want to have a protein shake that I can feel that suddenly causes my muscles to be so big that it's splitting my pants.
Hugh Jackman revealed to Variety that he's already training for the role and that his muscles are getting so big he's actually split two pairs of pants, claiming, quote, all the protein shakes are starting to kick in fast.
And so is Hugh Jackman so in tune with his lie that he feels he could say anything at this point? The protein shakes are really starting to kick in fast. Or are protein shakes a secret word to represent steroids, SARMs, or perhaps growth hormone? Because what exactly kicks in when you're drinking a protein shake? And so is it possible that he put on all this muscle by adding in protein and lifting weights? As I'm sure any young person that's listening to Hugh Jackman state this is thinking, I gotta buy up the protein powder. Imagine how much muscle I'm gonna put on. But here's the truth. Adding in additional protein is hardly going to make any difference at all if you're already consuming enough protein. And so unless Hugh Jackman was on a protein deficient diet, he was avoiding protein on purpose, perhaps he was vegan, never ate any meat whatsoever, or was on a low calorie diet, there's no way that by adding in a bunch of protein, he's suddenly going to put on a bunch of muscle. And so how much is too little protein? Well, even if you're consuming half of what most bodybuilders recommend, which is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, half of that being 0.5 grams per pound, even that is going to be more than enough for most people to be able to build muscle. Granted, possibly not as much. And so instead of putting on 10 pounds of muscle, if you're consuming 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, perhaps you only put on 8 or 9 pounds. But it's not going to make enough of a difference to suddenly start splitting your pants. And so even if he went from a diet that's lower on the protein side, for example, 0.5 grams to very high, 2 grams per pound of body weight, it wouldn't make that big of a difference. And so to suddenly say the protein power kicked in, well, to me, that is going too far. When you consume protein, you don't feel anything. It's not a stimulant, it's not going to give you a bunch of energy, and it's not beta-alanine, you're not suddenly going to feel the tingles. And so if you're drinking protein powder and you feel it, well, it's laced with something which shouldn't be there. And for Hugh Jackman to have the balls to go out there and to make a quote saying the protein powder is kicking in and that's why I've split 2 pairs of pants. I mean, the audacity to think that the viewers, the readers, are that freaking stupid that they would believe him that the protein powder kicked in and built all this extra muscle. I mean, maybe he's just playing with us. Maybe he wants to tell us he's on all these various performance-enhancing drugs, but he's simply not allowed to.
No, I love my job and I love Wolverine. I've got to be careful what I say here, but I had been told anecdotally what the side effects are of that, and I was like, I don't love it that much.
And even if the guy is natural, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that all these years he hasn't touched anything. To suggest that protein powder has kicked in and created all these hypertrophy gains, that is a lie. That's going too far. Everyone knows that protein powder can't be felt, it's not going to kick in, and it's not going to cause that much muscle growth to occur. Imagine if it was. Imagine if it was that easy. All you have to do is get a jug of protein powder, put it in your shake and consume it, and your muscle's going to probably grow at least twice as fast as last time. And imagine how fast you have to grow your muscle to suddenly split your pants open. To actually split them, you have to put tremendous amount of muscle on. Has he been training for several years? I don't think so. In a matter of weeks and or months, you're not going to put on so much muscle that you're suddenly going to burst out of your jeans.
Oops.
And last I checked, when these guys go through their roles, they're not just bulking up to get fat. And so what happens? Well, they're actually lowering their body fat. Let's say they start their diet at 20% body fat and they want to put on muscle, lose fat to look good for their role. They might diet down to 10%, but they might stay at the exact same weight. And so what in the end is happening? They're adding on 10% muscle. And so if you start at 200 pounds, 20%, and then you reduce your body fat to 10%, but you still weigh 200 pounds, and you've replaced all that fat with muscle. And so what have you done? In the end, you've lost 20 pounds of fat and replaced it with 20 pounds of muscle. And so I hate to have to break it to you, but no, protein powder hasn't suddenly kicked in, and it's not causing him to put on so much muscle that he's splitting his jeans. And hopefully in the future, perhaps 10 or 20 years down the line, maybe after they're retired, these guys will come out and say, hey, remember those years back when I was this comic superhero? Remember when I was this character? Well, I was actually taking X, X, and Y. I wasn't allowed to speak about it, and so I want to come out and be honest at this point. If you are interested in protein powders, pre-workouts, GO2 Max, creatine, protein bars, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, G-Shred, G-Test, G-Whiz, I got everything. Remember, code Greg gives you 10% off on everything, and if you don't have any money, head over to my website, enter your first and last name and email address. You're getting up to a 50-page free diet and training program. It's absolutely free, giving away over 60,000. Ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch the bloops. Of course, my discount code is code Greg. And until next time, I am out.